Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So if you've read the title, welcome to my new house. Welcome to my permanent council house. So how this video is going to go is I'm going to tell you about how I got the house, and then I will rewind back to 3 weeks ago, I think it was, where I actually recorded footage of me getting the house, or like, you know, showing you around the house and stuff. I just forgot to tell you the details because I was so excited about like viewing the place. So let's backtrack. Sorry, the room is a mess. This is my room, or the storage area, which is what it's become. So yes, 3 weeks ago, well actually let's go back further than that. So how I got the house is I bid for this place back in May. Yes, you heard me correctly, May 2023. It's now October and we're just about to go into November. And I bid for this property back in May, and I was first. So also let me backtrack a little bit further before that. I've been coming first in bidding for quite some time, but because my kids are now in secondary school and we know the area, we've been living in this area for like basically since they put us in the temporary accommodation. The previous one, well, the temporary accommodation where we was living before this was in this area too. It's literally across the street. So I liked the area and I was trying to stay within this area. The hostel before that was a little bit further. We've always kind of been lucky with the places we were placed, because the hostel that we were placed in originally was an area that I knew. I grew up around there, and then we moved here, which was an area where my sister used to live. I know the area anyway. South is really weird. It's not super big, but you know what I mean. I knew the place, so I was like quite happy to move here when it was temporary. And obviously we've been living around here for the last 4 years. They've been going to school. We've just got her into school. My second child just got into the secondary school as well, so I didn't want to venture out too far, and that was something I actually did want to hold out for when looking for secondary schools, was to keep my address the same, because if we had moved, it could have ended up with a situation of either having to move my eldest or having one child in one school and one child in another school, because they really go off the postcode. Oh gosh, stuff's falling on me in my storage cupboard. So yeah, so back in May I finally saw this place come up. I've been seeing a few places in the area come up, and whenever they did I would bid for them. Sometimes I was number 3, number 6, number 7, whatever. This one I was number 1, and I was like, okay, I'm number 1 on the Thursday, the Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I thought, oh, it's gonna change. Someone's gonna bid in front of me and I'm gonna be number 2 or something. I was number 1. Couldn't believe it. So bidding closed, my rent is up to date, my council tax up to date. I was like, they're gonna call me or something. And then this lady emailed me this like official letter saying, you know, you're number 1, the property is likely to go to you, would you like it? And then she said, I'm gonna call you. So she called me up and she's like, I've just noticed that you are a homeless applicant. Sorry, I've been suffering from this terrible cold for like 2 weeks. It's another reason why I haven't made a video, so forgive me if I cough. She said, I noticed that you're a homeless applicant. Do you want to accept this property? Because if you do, you can't refuse it. Because in my area, that's how it goes. You don't get a second option or a third option if you're homeless. If you're homeless. If you're on the list under anything else, it's fine. You can, I think, get 3 refusals. But homelessness, you don't. So I was like, yes, I do want it. I want to move. I have no room. I want to move. I had, because like I said, it was across the street. I had been to peer through the window. You could see through the kitchen window into obviously the kitchen, which they were still building and digging when I came round. And I was like, oh no, I don't want them to be like, what's that lady doing? I was like peering through the through the kitchen window. I was like, all them units look nice, spacey kitchen. I also looked on Rightmove to look to see if there was any other properties in the block, or all the blocks are very similar. They're quite uniform. So in any of the other blocks, to see if there was pictures or like someone was renting or selling. And I saw a few and I thought, if it looks like those ones, then I'm okay. So, but I didn't know for sure. There was no guarantee it was going to look like those. So I said to her yes, and she said, right, make sure you have all these documents. Literally, there was like a folder worth of documents that she wanted me to have prepared and ready for when they called me up to come and view. And she said someone will be in contact. If you don't hear from anyone within a week, contact these email addresses. Week went by, nobody. I gave it a bit. 2 weeks went by, nobody. I was like, messaged them. They said, oh, we're so sorry. We will get back to you soon. I'm on holiday, etc, etc. Okay. summer holidays came, the summer holidays went. I thought summer holidays would be perfect for them to call me because I get 8 weeks off in the summer, so I could literally be moving in that time. And like I said, it was literally across the street from where I was living previously, so I thought that would be great. I could be carting stuff back and forth. Nothing, like nobody called, nobody emailed. It got to the point where I messaged them at least 3 or 4 times, and I was like, I don't want to message them anymore because I don't know what's going on. And people at work were telling me horror stories of like, oh, I had this friend and she got offered a place and then they swiped it from underneath her because someone else needed it more, or they decided it wasn't fit to be lived in, and all this kind of stuff. And I was like, ah, please don't say something like that, I really want this house. And it got to the point where I stopped thinking about it as well, because it was literally months. And then the end of September, I think she called me like the Tuesday, I can't remember the exact day, I think it was like the 28th or something like that of September. This lady calls me up and she's like, I was literally about to leave work, and she's like, oh hi, this is such and such from the council, can you come in and view? And I was like, when? She was like, tomorrow? I was like, tomorrow? Oh my god, no, can you do it like Monday or something? She said, well, if you do it on Monday, then you can't get the keys on Monday, you have to come back another day and do. If you do it this day, then you can do everything in one day. And I was like, okay, what about Thursday and Friday? Because it's kind of short notice for you to call me and say come tomorrow. And she was like, actually I don't work Thursday and Friday, that's why we haven't been in touch for so long, because we're very short staffed and there's no one available. And I was like, oh my god, this is so long. Okay, I'll just have to come in. The next day, remember that folder full of paperwork I said about? I went, I came, I was ready at the time. I think she was here a little bit before me. I came, she was like showing me around. She was like, oh, this is, I was already sold. I was like, yeah, I'm in, I just want to get in there, and you don't need to sell it to me. I just want to move. She was like, yeah, this is this room, this is that room, blah, 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 blah. And she said, oh, I only need like these 3 things from you. I think it was like a passport, a proof of address, and oh, I can't remember the third thing. It was just like three items, and I literally had a folder full of stuff that the lady on the email told me that I need. She goes, no, you don't need any of that. Meet me at the office at 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock, went to the office. I was like, what's gonna go wrong? She was like, oh, my computer's not working, it's been acting up. She's typing, she's like, sign here, sign here, sign here, sign there. So, okay. She's like, that's it, well, congratulations, here's the keys to your place. I was like, is that it? Like, I can't believe I'm waiting on this. Is that it? Seriously? She was like, oh, you're the happiest customer I've had today. Some other lady was in here complaining that the rent was too high. I was like, seriously? No, it's not. My rent is $122 a week. Cheapest rent I've ever had in my life. I was just like, I just can't believe it. It was like winning the lottery. It was so surreal. I think that's how it would be if I should say when I win the lottery. That's how it would be when someone wins the lottery. It's, you know it's gonna happen, and you know it's happening, like you're signing and everything, and you're like, okay, these are yours, and you're like, that, okay, you're just giving it to me? And they're like, yeah, that's it. That's like, oh my god, it's crazy. Obviously saw my kids, we came over. So the flat has been decorated. I shouldn't complain. It's almost like an apprentice did it. I think they think, oh, it's council tenants, will just wax and paint on it and it'll be fine. It is fine for the most part, but bits and pieces here and there have been falling to bits. It's not been the smoothest of moves, but I'm just happy that we're in. So we still have no carpet, and we have no cooker, but I've been using an air fryer that I won a few months ago, and a microwave, and that's been actually fine. It's just that we don't have any carpet. And like I said, the decorating, they have decorated pretty much the entire place. They did the kitchen, which is quite nice, but there was a hole in the vinyl which I stuck down with glue. Hopefully no one will know. I've been sticking a lot of things back together with glue. Part of the door frame came off, super glued it back on. Bits of the wallpaper have been coming off, super glued them right back on. If they had done it up to a better, like maybe just even good standard, it'd be great, because that way you know you don't have to decorate for a few years. But where bits and pieces keep falling off, I'm thinking, oh, am I gonna have to just redo this in like a year or whatever? It's really annoying. But other than that, it's been fine. The only other awful thing, if you've been watching my Instagram, you'll know, was the moving day was awful. I thought it was going to be easy because it was so close, but lugging things back and forth, I was like physically, mentally exhausted. I couldn't move anything else. And then on the day when the vans were supposed to come, they let me down big time. The guys that turned up were really, really great, I have to say. Fantastic services. The guys that turned up were great, but the whole booking process was terrible, because it was meant to be from 7 until 9, and then they called me. Well, no, actually they didn't call me, I called them when they didn't turn up. It was like 8:10, and I was like, where's my van? And they were like, oh, sorry, there was an emergency. I was like, no one thought to call me, I'm waiting here. And my kids, because I said it was across the street, my kids were literally at the other house, at this house, waiting. So then they said they was gonna come at 5. And then they were like, oh, can you secure parking? It was this one lady on the phone. I don't think she understood how it works. I was like, it's a block of flats. You literally just park downstairs. There's bays all the time. Park downstairs, you put your stuff in it, you move. Oh, we need you to secure it. You need to secure it. I was like, how do you, what are you talking about? Even if I was meant to secure it in advance, I would have to ring like the council to get a bit of paper to stick on the car or something. That short notice, it was never going to happen anyway. But what she was thinking and what actually happens in the block is two different things. Anyway, then she was saying she'll book it for the next day, and I was like, no, because that's literally like the last day I have left was a Sunday. It was the last day. I had to be out there by Monday or be charged more rent. And she was just faffing about to the point where she said, oh, okay, we'll have to cancel it then, because you can't. And I was like, listen, lady, I've been waiting, I'm tired, I can't do this more. I burst into tears. I was so tired, and I don't cry, I'm not really a crier, so I just burst into tears. Like, oh help, I can't do this, what are you doing to me? I literally have today to move, that is it, why are you wasting my time with this nonsense? And then they said, fine, we'll come at 5, please don't cry. 5 o'clock came and went. They didn't come. They came at 6:50, I believe it was, or 6:55. It was almost 7 o'clock. We didn't finish until 9 o'clock. It was, but by that time I was just so happy to be in the flat. 9 o'clock. This was a whole day wasted, me waiting for them to bring us back and forth, and I did a majority of it with my kids, like going back and forth with IKEA bags that you can see in the background. So yeah, that was the disaster. And then some of the things, like I said, have been breaking. The toilet has to be fixed, the window has to be fixed, but we're in, and I'm happy and I'm grateful that I have a place. It's permanent. Oh, one thing I have to say is it's an introductory tenancy, which is for a year, which is basically to make sure you pay your rent on time and you pay your council tax on time, and then I guess you just get the secure tenancy. But either way, it's fantastic. I think they just do that because maybe some people have proven to get into permanent properties and then be like, don't have to pay the rent, cool. No, so it's just to make sure that you like stay up to date and everything, and they take a picture of you and they come around and do tenancy checks every so often, which is standard. They used to do that in the hostels and stuff anyway. But yeah, so without further ado, I will show you the rest of the footage, or I'll break it into 2 videos so that you can sit through it in peace without me waffling on.